Good morning, Karen.
Morning.
Is there a cat on the back of the chair today?
There is. Hang on. She's come to join me. You can only see the cat
Okay.
book at the moment, but yeah, she's come to join in today.
No Oscar this morning. We have. Oh, there she is. I can see the backside. No Oscar.
Oscar's at the side of it on the other side.
Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Open Minds. Good morning. Good morning. We are awaiting Roxanne. There may be some, as normal, we're live, some technical issues, so we'll just carry on, and hopefully Roxanne, all the way from the USA, and it's like 5 a.m. there, will be able to join us soon. So no issues there. So everybody, good morning. Thank you for watching us. I want to just kick off with what's coming up over the next few months. So as most of you will know, season 1 soon will be coming to an end of Open Minds. It will end on Sunday, the 18th of July, with the amazing, absolutely gorgeous Maria Wheatley. And we will be doing on our last show, which is Sunday, the 18th of July, everything dowsing. And everyone's getting their pendulums ready, their dowsing rods, and we are going to be taught live to do the dowsing. So you're looking forward to that one, aren't you, Cam?
Looking forward to that, yeah, because I've always been really interested in the dowsing and because I really do believe that it's this universal energy, and that actually inside us we know the answers to every single question in the universe. We just don't have the capacity to understand it, and so through the dowsing,
I think it does. I mean, also with I've noticed with Maria and all her work she's done, it's not just dowsing. The information she collates, and the information is, I mean, what she brought to the show last time about the elongated heads at Stonehenge. Hardly anyone knew about this. We weren't told our history. So, and she's been all over the world. I mean, she's just, and she gets the information. So I'm really looking forward to I've got my new pendulum. And I will be following my instructions. So the last show of season 1 ends Sunday, the 18th of July. Now, season 2, we start season 2 on Sunday, the 29th of August. And we have some great guests already lined up. We have Cheryl Costa, Yossi Rowan, Eric Mitchell, and Chris Matheu, and much more. Not going to go into too much detail now. I don't want to spoil the surprise.
Yossi again.
Yossi! I mean, he was amazing, was he not? He affected everyone. I mean, everyone rushed out and bought his book. The most humble, loving, kind. He was just beautiful, Yossi. You could feel that energy, couldn't you, with Yossi? A lovely soul. That was a great show. So he's going to come back as well and talk about left brain, right brain. We're going to go into the science.
That fascinates me. That absolutely fascinates me. So I'm looking forward to that.
The science side. We're going to bring in more of current affairs in season 2. We're going to bring in the scientific side of ET and all that's going on in our current reality. Next week, we have another, before Maria on the last week, we have another amazing guest. Next week, we have Rob Gauthier, and he is the ET Whisperer, and he has channeled over 250 ET consciousness. I got that word wrong. It's too early for me. Another channeler who is absolutely a beautiful soul, an amazing human being, and he's going to come and share next Sunday his journey, his spiritual journey, and how he became a channeler and how he overcome what some of us think that we can't overcome. It's an amazing story, an amazing journey. So as yet, we haven't heard anything from Roxy, bless her. We just hope everything.
That's sort of fair enough at the moment, with it being 5 a.m. where she is at the moment.
Yeah, I know. She was up at 5 a.m. last time, so we'll just have to hang on and see. There could be a connection problem. Of course, it is the 4th of July in the USA today.
Oh, it is, yeah, it is. Yeah.
To all our American viewers, happy 4th of July to you all. And welcome to everyone in the UK. Welcome to those coming online.
Yeah, we've got quite a few on saying good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Donna, Tracy, Joanne, Gillian, the lovely Gillian Attenborough, Jan, Kelly, Nikki Roddico's on, Lisa Aldo's on, good morning.
Morning,
Ingrid,
Lisa.
Karen Birchall, and the lovely Kevin Stirrup has also joined.
Ooh, Kevin Stirrup. Oh, now I'm all excited now. Kevin's online. Kevin's live. Yeah, so for those just joining us, there are technical difficulties. You must be used to it by now. We'll just go in there. So, Karen, until Roxy joins us, if she can, what shall we discuss with the viewers today? Pick your topic.
Oh,
on the spot.
You've well put me on the spot there, and with me not feeling great as well, as you probably noticed.
It's the look. It's that natural look you have. Even the cat's decided to go.
Yeah, even the cat's gone. I can't stand looking at that face any longer. Bless her. Do you know, that's interesting. That she's just prompted me, actually. I've always been fascinated with the connection between humans and animals, and how they communicate with us, how they pick up on certain things. And I just, I mean, as I've explained before about our cat Custard, who is the most ignorant cat. She doesn't want any interaction with you. She thinks she just lets us live in her house. This is this is how it works. But yet, whenever we're doing anything spiritual, or anything to do with the universe, or anything to do with opening your mind and opening your perspective, Custard is there. Every single time, every time. And if I'm doing readings, or if Chris is doing readings, or anything like that, once we've moved out of the chair, Custard will come and sit in that chair and sit in that energy, which I just find fascinating.
I mean, funny that
you on it.
Funny you said that. I mean, obviously now that opens the conversation in the groups that I'm running at the moment. Many are talking about connection to animals. I have to say, connection with birds and squirrels and everything and all things, and they are starting to raise their. It's like we are now starting somehow, some way to join our consciousness. We've always done it. We've always got this empathic connection with our animals, dogs, cats, whatever. We've always done it. But it's like we have this sort of now this awareness that we're blending together, and it's stronger than what we deemed before. And like there is no separation between us, so to speak. So it seems to be like I have a dog or so, but even though we say like the dogs and cats are family members, we've always had that. If you're an animal keeper, however, it seems to be different now. Like there is, I don't like to use the word, but we have to use terminologies. Is like humans, I think, in the past saw themselves as superior to animals. Yeah. And I think we're in a reality now where that perception is dissipating, and now it's like they're just consciousness like us experiencing. So I can understand that, and there's many cases of guys in the groups that are just talking to the animals and getting the communication back, which I'm finding amazing. There's a lot of things going on at the moment in the conscious realm. So I can relate to that. I mean, obviously I have in my garden Kevin the squirrel. Yes. No pun intended. Yes, there was. And the relationship the last year is just, it's eerie. And it's when you see a little squirrel's teeth, it's not something you want to go near. However, the fear is dropping for me, and the fear is dropping for Kevin the squirrel. And he's starting to stop and look and observe me. So I think that's happening. I think that's happening. And obviously you find it with the horses, don't you? Because you work with horses.
Absolutely, absolutely. Horses are one of the most, how do I put this, emotionally intelligent animals that I have ever come across. They're very much a mirror of your own emotions, and they help you to see. They help. Sometimes I think we don't realise what energy we're putting out there.
Yeah.
Just because of whatever emotions we have, whatever's going on in our life, and being around a horse, and I'm sure this happens with other animals as well, but that mood is then reflected back to yourself so that you can see it. You can see that agitation or that little bit of upset or not feeling quite right, because then your mind just switches straight away, and then you want to make that animal happy. And
it's like everything's a mirror.
Yeah.
It's the same with, I was saying about the cats and dogs, with Mother Nature, the animal kingdom. It's like the shift seems to be, everything is like a mirror. What you put out now comes back. I mean, we've all experienced, like, we call it losing so-called friends or something. It's not. It's everything's mirroring. Our reality, what we perceive, is coming back. How we perceive, what we put our attention on. So you can recognize it in the animal kingdom, which obviously we know that's happening. But I think it's also happening with the Homo sapiens sapien, with human beings. Many are talking about it's changing. There's connecting with people like you've never met before, like we all have the past year and a half in the Zoom rooms. We've connected to people, and it's like, I so know them. You know, it's like I've always known them. There's the synergies are so strong, and then others are just dropping away because it doesn't serve the experience, the reality you're in now, the shift. So I think it's all reflection. Wherever we observe is a reflection of ourselves, and that would lead to, how can I put that? Working on ourselves, to do the work on ourselves. What we put out, we attract back. So yeah, it's good morning, everybody. If you wondered why we are interviewing each other, we're hoping that Roxanne will join us from the USA. Oh, she's just seen my message, so hopefully she'll be able to pop on soon. We're just filling the gap. We're blagging it. This is called interviewers blagging it, and it's fun. So good morning. Yes, the law of attraction, what you put out comes back to you. And I think when that happens, we have to look at what comes back is not the other. It's ourselves. It's ourselves. Hold on, I'm just messaging Roxy. Hold on, I've got a message. Hold on. Hold your hold. Live TV, guys. Here we go.
Love the way you said hold your horses. When we was talking about horses.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, good morning everybody that's joined us. And Jan Wallace has said, yeah, horses are empathic. I think most animals are. We don't necessarily notice it or acknowledge it. And I think it's something, like you say, a lot of people are doing a lot more now. They're realising, and not just with the animal kingdom, but with other human beings.
Yeah.
And becoming more empathic towards them.
I mean, the more that we change and do the work on ourselves, obviously the animals actually, I would say, are more of an extremely high consciousness, because they don't do what we do. We murder, we kill, we judge. We have, they just see things as they are, is where we're going actually as Homo sapiens sapien. So as they see the individual consciousness of an individual being starts to drop the belief systems and all that goes with it, they resonate with that. So we're going to their level of consciousness. There are certainly, I would never say a dog or a cat is a lesser consciousness than a human being at all. Because we need to, you've got to deconstruct the human being. What is a human being? What's our history? It's not good. It's not good. Hold on, I'm just texting Roxy. Carry on. Nothing going on here.
You can use. You are communicating with our guest. But yeah, I definitely think that animals are just amazing. Even right down to the. I mean, Chris always laughs at me because I talk to bees. I talk to any animal that I see, any animal, insect, anything. Sometimes even the flowers, if I feel inclined to.
Honest,
I always just and to the bees or the birds. If I walk past anything, I always say, "Oh, good morning, butterfly," or and I really feel that it helps with your just general connection to anything or anybody. Just that acknowledgement and that. And I really consciously try not to harm any animal, even though I'm not a great fan of a wasp, as an example. I still respect.
I still question. Yeah, I still question what is the purpose of the wasp apart from pollinating. And what it's like.
Pretty important. That's a pretty important.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, you just have this, thing that if a bee stings you, it dies. If a wasp stings you, it don't die.
It doesn't. It flies off, going yes.
Yes, I got the human again. I nearly swore there. Oh God, forgive me. I nearly swore. Bloody hell. Right. So, but actually, that leads to, and hopefully, Roxy will join us soon. Bless her. Hopefully, it leads us to what's happening in consciousness at the moment, and this is where Roxy comes into the equation, and Rob and all the other channelers, and obviously with current affairs, current news. Not that we need any government to inform us that UFOs are real, ET is real. The people know it's real. However, the governments of the world now do not have any choice. They can't hide it anymore. And so it brings to the equation, what does it mean for humanity? What is happening? And we're hoping that Roxy will be able to join us today, and hopefully we'll get some information. And then we've got Rob next week and many others coming on the show in season 2. So I think it's a time of acceptance, reflection, and looking at ourselves as a human being, our belief systems. So here we go. Our belief system. Oh.
You want me to?
Yes, please. Yes. Bring Roxy on live. God bless her. Bring Roxy on live.
Good morning.
Drink your coffee. Chillax. Drink your coffee. Good morning, Roxy.
Hi.
You're looking wonderful.
Why are you telling me to chill out?
I love it when she starts. I love it. I know it's coming good. Then I know.
Chill out.
Then I know.
Chill out. First thing. No, there's no good morning. How are you? I'm sorry I told you wrong time by an entire hour. We could start there, but no. Chill the fuck out. That's what I'm going to give you this morning. Wow. You're really blowing shit up my skirt today.
I knew it was going to be a fantastic live. Okay, darling. The other day on video, I said to you, Roxy, I said, good morning, how are you? And you said, I'm fine. Why are you asking me good morning? So I can't win with
No,
Roxy.
I didn't say it like that. See, that's tone. I didn't say it stern. I didn't say it with resting bitch face. No, I said it like, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I mean, how else would I be? I mean, I'm life, I'm forever. What the fuck? Oh, so you have a little
Loving
suffering, you have a little bitch session, but that's part of life. That's part of the
Well,
human experience.
our audience is now very happy.
Oh, good.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh my God.
Hello,
I
Karen.
have been inundated for Roxy. Haven't we, Karen? Inundated for Roxy. Bring her back. Bring her back. Bring her back. Okay, guys, we are now all going live with Roxanne. Now, I will start my little introduction again, as you do. We welcome back to Open Minds the awesome Roxanne Swainhart. Roxanne is a conscious channeler, and her greatest passion is to channel different entities and share wisdom with the rest of humanity. She is a fully conscious and aware throughout her channeling and her channeling sessions, and is right in the middle of the action. Unlike some channelers that go to the side, Roxy does not. Today, Roxanne will be channeling, here we go, try and get it right, Ocyphius, is that correct?
Ocyphius.
Yeah. And the topic's an open topic, free topic, is understanding our current times and aliens and extraterrestrials. And as I said, everybody, next week, Rob Gauthier is coming on and his perspective will come in too. But we have all been waiting for Roxanne today, and we're so grateful, Roxy. We're so grateful, really, here in the UK to have you live on the show. Yay. So when you're ready, just let us know. We can chat for England here. And when you're ready, just let us know, and you can take over from there.
We'll bring Ocyphius in, yeah. But
yeah, I love him.
I've never met Karen. Hi, Karen.
Oh, sorry. How rude am I?
No, you're right. We haven't actually met face to face. Really, I'm Chris's better half.
Oh, right. Oh.
Unfortunately, he's had to work today, to which he was gutted. Very gutted. He was very gutted because you know he loves you, Roxy. So I've stepped in today, which I'm very lucky to do that. So thank you so much for joining us.
I'm glad you're here. It's great to meet you.
No, when Chris texted me and said he couldn't make it due to work, we had a lot of cussing words. He wasn't just gutted, it was like bleep, 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 bleep. You know, he really wanted to experience it with Roxy. But that's okay. We'll get her back in season 2. We will. We'll get her back in season 2. Roxy, right. So we're gonna hand it over to you. Okay, when you're ready.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Hang on. I mean, well, I'm ready to talk. Give me a second to channel because I just got up.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing worse than just waking up and somebody asking questions.
You know, got a little coffee, a little water.
Yeah.
What did? It's still 11 o'clock over there. So why is it different?
Well, it's nearly 11:30 here. I don't know.
Why is it different? Because maybe because when we flip times, we do it a week apart. So maybe we caught ourselves in between that week.
Maybe we did. Maybe we did. Yeah. So I do apologize.
No worries.
I do apologize.
I didn't even get to do anything. I didn't put myself.
The audience is coming out saying, thank you very, very much, Roxy, for getting up at this ridiculous hour to be with us. And we can't wait to hear what you say. So you're much appreciated.
Well, we can start talking, and I'll channel in a minute after I.
Okay, yeah.
So if you guys have any questions or one in particular, we can go.
Karen, do you have a question?
Yeah, I do have a little bit of a question, actually. And it's regards to sort of like the hybrid type side of things. I was just wondering whether do you feel that it's the hybrid side of things that's affecting our newfound consciousness of the universe and the questioning that we have and our openness, or do you feel that that's more of a evolution in a human way?
That's a great question. That was well thought out. Since the hibernization of, from what I've gotten through the different sources of hibernization experts like Bashar and a couple other great channels out there talk about it. It only started in the 40s as far as the hybridization. I mean, other stuff had happened before that, but in the 40s, as far as the Yael and the Essassani Zeta Reticuli hybrid program. So I would say it's a human part of it. If you look at creation itself, we might not be around long enough to see it, but what we can see, if we're sharp enough, not caught up in our fantasy land of imagery of self and stuff like that, the human part of it. I'm trying to find the middle. There we go. Then you would see evolution is natural, and I'm not talking about survival of the fittest and Darwin type of evolution. That's concrete in science and provable and defendable and arguable and all that bullshit. I'm just talking about what happens. Looking at the human body, looking at your neighborhood, looking at the world itself. So I think that's a part of the human collective. Eventually, let's look at this. History says we're so many years old. But it's actually our memory that says we're so many years old. The human species is so many years old. The scientists do make a discovery, throws a kink into the entire system, right? In the entire system on how old humans are. And we keep finding all this stuff to have to rewrite history, but the academias just want to have diarrhea and ego. So they fight it for a while and then it becomes too obvious. And we have to give ourselves a new age. So if you put that and apply that to the multiverse, which quantum physics has given enough validation for humans to stop crying about this is the only place and there's only one of this and one of that. There's infinite number of things. That tells you that we're billions of years old. We have infinite number of timelines we've all lived, and an infinite number of ways we've experienced humanity with different Earths that are going into different directions, and it's all created in the now from an experiential point of view that claims time. So if you look at that perspective, we've been at this a long time, and the nature of things is to move the fuck on, right? So we're going to move on, and if you look at Daryl Inca, there's a few channels that I trust. As valid, very few. They're all channeling, but within the perspective of my certain focus, the evolution of the species, the waking up of the self, realizing you're a creator, purpose and meaning, and all the stuff that people get caught up in for a journey, I suppose. So 2,000 years, in the next 1,000 years, we wake up to the collective, the quantum physics, the UFOs, open contact, the galactics, other things. So we got 1,000 years to work it out. We got 1,000 years to scream and holler and play fear and do all the political and try to gain control and to realize that we can't control creation when there's an infinite number of species. We're not going to be that person. We're not going to be the top of the food chain. The ego's going to get bruised. And then the next 1,000 years is supposedly the equal, and this is reflected from Seth as well, heaven on earth, 1,000 years of heaven on earth, when the Christ conscious returns. When the Christ conscious is your worth. It's not a person. It's represented as a person, fine, but it's your own worth. It's your own love. It's self-evident I am, Thou shalt have no other gods before me. I'm number one because I'm one and I create all. One creates all. Everyone's the same, la-di-da-di, everybody. So I like what you said. I was listening, Gloria, about you would never say a dog or a cat is not conscious. Well, they are, exactly, So is everything. It's one and all. It's not one and then some and then all. It's one and all. It's all creation. So if you look at that, we got about 2,000 years before the species is ready to move on, because we've been at this third density for a long time, you know? So I think the hybrids are going to help. I think the hybrids are going to help, because there's going to be some realizations in that. You know, maybe it's what? Well, when the IEL introduced them and they find out they got human DNA, it's going to validate some. So they said when, you know, some of the testing comes out, and then they're going to find their lineage through, what do you call that? Ancestral DNA? Yeah. You know, you can find out that they're connected to people that are living today on the planet, family lines that are living today. So when that happens, la-di-da-di, because humans, everybody wants proof. You know, everybody wants proof. What's that, Karen? You're muted, darling.
Oh, I think Karen, you're muted. Hold on.
Oh, I didn't know she was talking. She's talking to somebody else.
Oh, she's talking to somebody else.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my mum just turned
Oh,
up.
no worries. Oh,
with
okay.
a great big, I know this has nothing to do with it, but it's a great big sausage, like round sausage for us to have for our tea. So I was just saying thank you for that.
That's okay. That's okay.
The timing was wonderful. The timing was wonderful.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, so I was kind of just going off on that idea.
Well, it was wonderful response. And there's many answers in that. The hybrids, I'm going to ask an audience question. I have to ask from that perspective, or from a human perspective.
Stop justifying
Here we go.
The host of the store. Just fucking ask the question. God damn it.
I love it.
Do I have to sell the worth? I got my pants on. It's cold.
That's fine. You keep your pants on, Roxy.
Keep your pants on, Roxy.
The hybrids. Do you have any knowing of the hybrids? Are they through what we call the experience has with these ETs, like abductions? Is that how these hybrids are created, as in the DNA that way? Or are you aware of another way that they are created?
Well, you can't have a hybrid unless you have DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's not a hybrid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Human hybrid. You have other hybrids. But are you talking about human? Well, then yes, you're going to need a human donor.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's to open the question, because up of like many experiences. We've just had 6 weeks of experiences on the show. Experiences that have experienced being, the word is used, which abducted, and obviously eggs have been used and so on. The reason I'm asking is because if we go back what you said earlier on, that when the hybrids come, and then the proof will be there, because at the moment, these experiences have experienced said abduction, and to create the hybrids, in agreement to create the hybrids, at the moment, it's a difficult area for them, for people to, shall we say, believe, oh, this is impossible.
Well, that's not our job.
No, it's not. It's not. I know that.
It's not our job to sell that.
Yeah, I know that.
Because look, preaching ain't teaching.
No.
And you're trying to sell the idea, then all it's going to do is invite attack, because you're trying to postulate onto someone else a theory. It's a theory until it's known, until it's proven, right? And the only way to prove it is a subjective experience. And these experiences are subjectively experiences, because all creation is subjective. People go, okay, let's be objective here. Bullshit, you can't be objective. You're only putting out a truth through a projected subjective point of view. The internal subject, me, I am seeing my reality. My blue is my blue. Your blue might be polka dot, for God's sakes. But in the moment, we agree blue and polka dot are the same.
Yeah, I'm with you. I hear you.
Okay. Okay. So, you know, what are they looking for? What's the question? Because you haven't asked the audience question. You're asking your question, because if you would have asked the audience question, it would have been read. So what do you ask?
The question that's the question I've had in discussions with others is, if ET, this is how the questions come about. If ET has abducted or taken a human being,
if Zeta Reticuli, you can't be abducted by an ET. ET's doing thing. You gotta look at aliens. Come on, guys. Let's not repeat this, for fuck's sake. Listen to me. An extraterrestrial has human DNA. Terra is Earth. Human, Earth, Terra, extra Terra. That means that being has the extra chromosome or extra DNA of Terra, which is human. Okay, so extraterrestrials are hybrids. Aliens are not humans. They're not going to, the Yael aren't going to come down here. The Yael are an entire different project. The Zeta Reticuli is saving their species. The Zeta Reticuli have moving themselves into a place, into an exploration of total consciousness, to realize their extinction, because they went this particular route. Now, whatever they did is not right or wrong, because creation is unreasonable. So put your little causality and your sympathy in the fucking toilet and flush it for the day and listen. Creation isn't here to figure things out. Creation is here to be unreasonable, which means we do things for no reason, because we are the everlasting life and we are unconditional about that life. The human experience just happens to be encouched in a polarized reality, and everyone has their limit of suffering and everyone has a limit of joy. So they live within that. So those extraterrestrials didn't abduct us, aliens. So Zeta Reticuli, ships, little green men, all the things that we think, the big eye bubbles, take these children, take these adults, and zip them out, do their thing, and zip them back. And whatever the memory is going to be the singularity. There is no way there is that far of a disparaging answer between the experiencers. Some are scared shitless and later change their story. Some right up front, it was awesome. So many different ideas of what the ship looked like across the thing, blah, blah, blah. We could do it all. And we're still sitting here like children debating whether this is real, because we have no fucking guts to choose the truth without some authority telling, oh my goodness, I'm the government and you're a piece of shit. I'm going to fleece you until you die. And then I'm going to give you your truth. Fuck that. So yes, there are abductions, but that was the only translation. I'm sorry. Have you not noticed what sells? So here comes these aliens, take these people, everyone's having a good experience about it, right? And then everyone thinks they're fucking cuckoo. But when you give them a negative experience, everyone goes, oh my God. Now it makes the fucking news, because humans love dirty laundry, because they have to have an identity of pain. Grow up right here and get on with the fucking work. So anyway,
love it.
They're being abducted.
Thank you for that.
They're being hybrid, and there's several ways of it doing. Yes, they've had sex because it works. Okay, you can't really think that's fucking crazy to have sex outside of your species. I don't know why we keep thinking that when we see a dog trying to fuck a chicken. You know, you know, we see things all over YouTube that are like, okay, this is odd, but it doesn't matter. Because we don't have the point of view of what the humans have been raised in. We're the top of the food chain. Everything that we say is right, and everything else is wrong. And then when there's nothing to be wrong, we divide each other. We're really good at dividing, right? Because we're divided within our kingdom. Good. Okay. So this hybridization program takes place for these ideas of discovery with the Arcturians and their incubation processes. And there's several ways, and there's different what you would call there's hybrids that look like, holy shit, you're a fucking alien, and there's a hybrid that says, oh my God, you're the most beautiful human I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Why does that have to be a conspiracy? There does have to be something? Or are you just going to go around and preach it? Look, I have a nugget, and you speak it, and then all of a sudden you're empty again because you're relying on this information to validate yourself. It's not about the external validation. It's about finding you're a creator and then saying, wow, look at the fucking game. We're fucking awesome, right?
Yeah.
So there's an infinite number of ways that they're doing. There's generations. And there's different hybridizations through the different ideas. But the one that we're concerned with in our future, our immediate future, is to have the Yael, the understanding, not the Essassani. That's Bashar's crew. That's the Essassani civilization. Anyways, so it's the Yael. The Yael, that was the ship in 1997 at the Phoenix Lights. It's been around a couple times. There's only going to be more exposures. There's only going to be more sightings. There's only going to be more revelations of this kind of idea. Yeah.
Thank you. That was a full-on. What's the answer?
Because I've just realised sort of how ignorant I've been in a way that you just said then about the difference between extraterrestrial and alien, and I feel really ignorant in the fact, and it makes absolute sense, but I feel really ignorant in the fact that I haven't.
Yeah. But remember, ignorance is
differentiated the difference. So thank you for that. That's really...
You're welcome. But remember, ignorance isn't stupid. I never knew anything until I was introduced to it. I remember I was, I'm play the flute, to play clarinet. I'm a musician since I was little. Well, I was born in wherever and traveled wherever. But the story goes, when I left Germany, and I went to Munich American High School when it was there in Germany, lived in Oberammergau, gorgeous place. I didn't have a lot of exposure to music. I was in 8th grade. I started there in 8th grade, and my exposure to music was 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in Virginia. Anyways, so watch this. So I get back to the States. I go to sophomore high school, join the marching band, find out about the marching band, join the marching band. I'm playing clarinet, la-di-da-di, everyone. And some guy is talking about Juilliard. And I said, what is Juilliard? And he's like, the fucking guy almost has a conniption. He's giving birth to a fucking watermelon. What is Juilliard? How do you not know that? Just the white pompous fucking ass. Like, I'm appalled. Meanwhile, your wife's breaking a broomstick off in your ass, you fucking politician. So anyways, this idea of ignorance is not a bad thing. I love, because it was one of the greatest lines ever said, and to be really obscure, A Coal Miner's Daughter with Loretta Lynn's story. She goes, I'm not stupid. I may be ignorant, but I'm not stupid. It's a big difference. So it's okay to be ignorant about something because you haven't been introduced it. The whole planet's ignorant. Everyone's ignorant because we come here empty. That's the journey. But we learn and we see and we covet and we take on these truths, and we have in a human experience. We have a ride of a life. And then we get to pimp our ride. I like what I've done with my ride. I like what you've done with your ride, Karen. You look great. Way to pimp your ride.
My ride's a little bumpy at the minute. I've not been feeling too well, so I'm normally a little bit more done up.
I'm a little bumpy.
Yeah, she's a foreigner. She's a foreigner, Roxy. She lives on the other side of UK. I call her the foreigner. Different dialect altogether.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. I like it. It is different. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. I call them foreigners. We speak the Queen's English, darling.
We're up in the north.
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
go ahead.
That was mind blowing, and I knew it would be. And it was, again, in between there, a lot of humble pies went down my throat on that one. Thank you so much indeed, Roxy. And I loved how you said about it's okay to be ignorant. It's a really good one. And, as I said, Karen, that was a brilliant question.
It was.
That was a really good. That was insightful. I love that one. On that note, it's made me think a bit now. Roxy, sometimes I wonder myself. Obviously, you're going to channel Ocyphius, but
we'll get on that.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
Yeah, sorry. And I mentioned it the first time, and I've just picked it up now, so I've got to address it again. Is when I first met you, and you were just talking in general to me and Chris and everything, and the only way I could word this, because you've been channeling so long with these beings, Ocyphius, am I speaking to Roxy or still Ocyphius, but you're not, as yet you haven't consciously channeled them in? Do you understand what I'm trying to describe something that's intangible?
Yeah, and that's a good way to say it, because it is to break it down into a description of human relatability. It's still going to fall short of the greatness of it. But I'm a singularity, and let's say Ocyphius or Sly, in the main two. And then there's more that I hang out with personally, but those two that I channel, if I'm here and there, we become like Sloxy, which is Sly and Roxy, or Sloxias, which is Sly, Roxy, and Ocyphius. So there's always a projection. It's still being funneled through me. So whatever you're looking at, there's still a human involved, because we are in the human experience. That's where we're at. From each other singularity experience, they're having that experience. So a dog is not having a human experience. The dog is not having what you believe. The dog is having a dog experience. An Arcturian's having an Arcturian experience, not a human experience. We like to put our human experience on everything because we're masters of objectification, right? So we think, oh, they're this and they're that. No, they're not. Because our reaction is assigning it that the experience, right? We're creating our reality through our truth. Duh. Right? So if you look, I'm still here, but I'm not emotionally involved. When I get emotionally involved, people know it. It's like, oh, I was like, oh, fuck, are we really going here? Because it's just something that we don't need to do anymore. Because I remember Ramtha had said somewhere in his writings, I'm not talking to the human. I'm not going to talk to fantasies. I'm talking to the God in you. That's where we work. We work up here. We're going to be caught in the distraction. The distraction of humanity with identity, the objectification. So when I'm involved in the channeling, I step the fuck aside, is the best way to say it. I'm watching the channeling like you are. I don't think of anything. There's no thought process of thinking. I don't use my memory to accord the answer in the now and have a perspective about it. Because I'm not in time when I'm channeling. I'm right fucking now. Makes sense?
Absolutely perfect answer. Thank you very much for sharing. Are you ready to channel at any point? Yeah. Should we go for it?
Sure.
It's exciting.
Karen, I like you.
Let's do it.
That's it. Karen's cross-legged in her chair. I'm ready. Thank you.
Am I okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's get Ocyphius in here, because Ocyphius has these great answers. I love him. Ready? Greetings once again to the Human Collective. Ocyphius here. We bid you a good day. All right.
Good day.
You want perspective on the occurrences maybe of the UFO phenomena?
Yes, please.
let us give you this. All things must change. All things must change. Because we're explorers naturally. One of the part of you and let's say the synchronicities, I guess is the best way to say it, of the occurrences of what's been going on for quite some time now, but now just reaching the conscious level of the common folk, the masses, if you will, the UFO phenomenon, to show you that you're not alone, and to show you that there are others. And of course, the first reaction of the masses is going to be fear, because that's where you started, separated, fearful of your reality, full of fear, no identity of worth, only identity of projection. So that idea, your first reaction to the aliens, and when they're coming, are going to be fearful. All you have to do is look at your movies. You prove that every time you come out with a new movie, that everything outside of human is like it is inhuman. Scary, monsters, war, kill, kill, kill. Perfect. So that's the idea. Now they're not going to show up until there's no more guns, no more, let's say, attitude. So you introduce the idea as time moves on. And there's going to be a rapidity of movement within the next 20 years. Of course, more sightings, governments giving up the ghost. Yes, there are UFOs, ABCs, DEFs. They're going to name it so many different ways because they're trying to make it comfortable for you. The governments wrap things in little pretty sandwiches for a while because you guys are too stupid to figure things out on your own, which is bullshit. You're not sheep, and you're not here to be fleeced. You're creators, and as you start to see that the governments don't have shit to say or do or control about these ideas, gives, as a byproduct, more control in your terms, but more, let's say, command of each singularity. So the masses become more worth, and the governments have less control. By the time the ascension happened, next 1,000 years, I should say, the governments are administrative. That's all they do. They do paperwork. All that's all they do. There's no presidencies and no leaders of the world anymore, and all that shit goes away. But that's a millennia for now, long time. But this is the birthing idea. So all of you wanting to be involved in this space-time continuum, point of now, and be a part of, holy shit, there's aliens. Have that experience, which I think is epic. So the first group of people will not be, as Roxanne explained, extraterrestrial. The first sighting, the first open contact, somewhere between your 2033, 2035 is the most highest probability, will be alien. Because if it's too human looking, people won't believe it. It'll be another conspiracy theory, like UFOs are conspiracy theories right now. You have this entire group of people that fight against it and fight for it because it just gives you something to do, because you have no worth to experience beingness. You're always doing this. Humans doings. Oh, we have to do something. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? So you understand that. So this occurrences that are moving your awakening species into a preparation, much like you guys are nervous on the first day of work. A week later, you're comfortable. A month later, you're in the groove. A year later, you own the place. You would never hesitate to walk in there. You don't have a bad day, a fearful day. You're not afraid any longer. You've proved yourself to yourself that you are worth that entering. This is much the same. There will be nervousness and scares, so you get yourself familiar with the idea of, holy shit, we're about to beat aliens. And this is an occurrence that's been happening on your planet, obviously, for a long time. But we just don't come down here. We only come to the moments that are appropriate. People have contacted aliens on your planet for millennia, and they've had great experiences with them. But you give that on a mass level, and there's panic. It has been said many times, as singularities, you guys are more responsible. But as masses, you guys react like stuck pigs going to a luau. Wah, wah, wah. That kind of idea. So anyways, your movement of self-awakening is the direct result of the earth that this awakening earth is creating. COVID was one of your awakening moments to see how you act with yourself in this time, to see where you direct your panic, to you see it doesn't work on a mass level. It's never about a mass level. It's each singularity enlightening the singular kingdom, which allows others to journey within their own kingdom and enlighten. Enlightenment is representation of the internal journey, not the external journey of preaching and helping people and forcing people and lawing people and reasoning people and mansplaining people what's going on from an egoic point of view of authority. This is way different than that. This is enlightening. You guys are moving yourself into consciousness. It's not going to be an immediate effect, but in 100 years from now, you can see the monumental effects of this COVID idea. More people not driving to work because they don't want to work in an office anymore. There'll be satellite things. There'll be these things. There'll be new technologies. There'll be new industry and commerce birthed from this monumental movement. These kind of things. And one of those monumental movements is saying, hey guys, we're not alone. And it's okay. Because only where humans live in the human mind is where bad happens, where good happens, where all the things that we've learned and labeled as truth happens. Those aliens and extraterrestrials aren't our truth. They're their truth. And we get to interact with them and learn something about ourselves, the evolution of a species. Because remember, guys, each one of you are already evolved. Duh. You're a creator. You're just projecting an experience, a point of view of evolving in the evolutionary aspect. You can look at the species evolving. Industrial age, look where we're at now, computers, blah, blah, blah. Intergalactic is the next part of the galactics, taking the place in the idea of our galaxies, being part of it, sitting on a council, having a human representative of a council of what's going on in the affairs of our current galaxy. We've just been down here fighting with each other, and then we're finally, all right, I think we're done now. I don't think we need to divide. We're waking up. There's representations of internal journeys. There's representations of these things. And that vibration, not purpose, not meaning, not lesson areas, that vibration of the conscious collective invites change, which is the constant. That's called law of attraction. You guys are up to speed on that, I would think, right? So in that idea, you get that connection. That connection gives you offerings. And offerings is chosen by the collective. The collective chooses the vibrational truth in the moment of movement. And ta-da, you guys get to meet aliens. Take part of the evolution. Because there's enough proof and enough ideology to allow that to connect. It's as when the Spanish showed up to the shores of the Mayans. They couldn't see it. They literally could not see a Spanish galleon. The water was moving. There were strange oddities, but they could not literally see them because they were not introduced to the idea on a vibrational level, because you are working in a multidimensional holodeck. But one particular witch doctor meditated for some days and saw the ripples, and then finally vibrated into a frequency to allow the introduction of the Spaniards. And you know how that turned out. Well, they slaughtered them because they were savages. But that was the movement. No matter how polarized that looks to you, that's the expansion of the connecting worlds. That's the expansion of the world itself. This is the unreasonable explanation of things, because there's no reason for it. It's everyone journeying. So this is why we would say, take care of you. Make you number one. In service of others is some story that a Bible sold you of predictability. And to have you loathe yourself, care for yourself in pain, and be in service of others. When you love one love the self, love one. Well, then you love all, because one are all. It's love. The highest act of love possible is to love yourself. Anything else would be a story you're telling you, which is your love for yourself. Because you're not doing it to you, and you're not doing it for you. You're doing it because it is you. There's no reason behind it. So, for you youngins out there, you're millennials and under, you guys are already ready for this, because you've prepared yourself with different ideas. You're not concerned as the last generation with imagery as much. Oh, you got egos, yes, you selfie yourself to death, sure. But your ideology about pain and suffering are shedding. You get to do things now. You can't earn a living by playing video games. The fuck I can. Yes, I can. I can do whatever I want. So the worthiness is coming back, and you're going to be more open to extraterrestrial and alien contact on those occurrences. So just have fun, guys, because that's all there is. And think about it. If you're creators of infinite number of realities, why is that a bad thing? Why do you have to scope that? Well, because you were taught that. But if you have the fortitude, let's say the worth or the guts, the salt, to choose an internal truth and not rely on everyone else directing you like a monkey on a fucking leash, grinding away, asking for quarters. You find yourself, journey that way, vibrate reality of I am, and you only get that internal love known. Journey well, masters. This is all they have for now. I bid you a good day. Don't
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi. Wow.
Thank
you. Wow.
Time. They're out of time. It was like, okay.
Hi. Karen.
That was so insightful, and mainly because I was sort of asking questions, like, oh right, so in my own head, and then I was thinking about like the millennials, my children, and how they're doing it, and then you started talking about that, and I was like, wow, really
good.
I'm blown away. I think the explanation is so simple, and
humans complicate things. Yeah,
everything.
Yeah, because it's got to have a dynamic. Yeah, yeah. We make things complicated because that's how we find our value. If people really look at themselves, watch what they're projecting. They're, like when people are arguing with other people and they're so mad at them, they're the ones keeping it alive.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are pointing energy follows awareness. So reap. Mine did this and they did that. Okay, keep going that direction, and that's what you do. Shift away from it. Does it hurt? Are they wrong? Are you no more longer value because you didn't win a fight? Yeah. Does it hurt? Absolutely. That's where humility comes in. Walk the fuck away and focus on your awesome. Then that reality goes away, because the only place it lives is in your memory. That's where it lives. That's how you keep it alive. And the here and the now is only fucking awesome. If you guys really look at that, you're going to notice something. Wow, all the shit I think about is not now.
Yeah.
Also,
awesome in the now.
I think as well, as a parent, and I'm sure Gloria will agree, we worry about the future and what the future will be like for our children, our children's children, and that is a human thing anyway. But I actually feel really hopeful now, whereas before I was a bit more worried. Now I'm excited.
Yeah, and look, hope implies doubt, which is not right or wrong, Karen. Hope is a relationship to the human experience. That's where it starts, that's where it stops. Everyone else out there doesn't hope, including other humans. So first own your hope. And look at, you're worried about the outside world. Don't worry about them. Why? Because they're indestructible, invincible singularities of consciousness. Oh, you might be looking at a projection of pain and suffering, of wrongdoing and torture, or people are going, look at all that's wrong with the world. Let's try to make it right. So we force people to be right. You can't project yourself. You have to represent. You have to represent the freedom of choice within the kingdom, right? And that's a journey. That is a journey of masters. This is why it's a master class. This is not for the faint of heart. This is not, everyone that here is already a fucking master. There's no doubt about that. You don't get to come to human because you think you're cool. You vibrate into this reality, So when you are looking at that, look at it as yourself, Karen. It's like, oh my God, I'm hopeful about someone that can't die. I'm hopeful about something that's only an experience. They chose to come here to experience polarity. Why would I get in their way? Why would I vibrate that? And one of the biggest lessons the Christ conscience said is the idea of lessons that represent. He never saw the ones that he healed sick. He sees them as whole. So when you see someone as sick, what are you vibrating? You're vibrating what they're putting out. So that only validates it. So when someone comes to you with a pity party and they're looking for victimization, fuck them. Fuck them, because you're giving them worth when you don't validate their victimization. Because that's only the fractal part. That's the fantasy part. You got to talk to the God. That's what an awakener does. He doesn't put up with the bullshit of keeping those people the same. When you've moved on, you represent moving on. Someone else wants to drag you down with dependency and obligation and sympathy and empathy and everything that makes you feel all purposeful. Like, oh yeah, I got to do this because this is what I am. Then you're going to stay in that cycle and you're going to fucking die a slow, miserable death. Or you can be awesome.
Do you feel that it's still necessary for us as humans to go through those experiences in order to?
It's not necessary for anybody to do anything. Right. But the people here that are born separated are their singular truth. That's why it's still happening. You can't control this. You've got to represent that. What do I represent? Fucking awesome. That's all I represent. Choosing the internal journey. Being your truth. I feel so good every day without trying. I'm not trying to feel good. I'm not pursuing happiness. I'm not setting goals to be something. I am. But I had to take the shit down that says I am not. And those are all of my human structures. Everything that I objectified myself being is what I had to tear down. I did the internal work. So I can show that each singularity is worth I am. Bashar said it the best. You've been chosen to exist. What is better than your own awareness? You have been blessed with consciousness. By consciousness chose you. Not a person, not a God. Consciousness, creation itself. You are that. You're on this side of things, not the non-existent side of things. So the only thing you're going to know is for fucking ever. Right here. The ride, not the body. The body's co-created. The hair's having an experience. The skin's having an experience. The eyes are having... All parts of me are experiential. It's a co-created idea of the moment, and this is my ride that carries my consciousness around so I can look around the human and feel it and have that ride. That's all it is. It's a way to experience the consciousness. So when you're looking at someone, and you're projecting on that idea, that's what you got to see. That's not them. That's you. That's the way you're interpreting reality. But if you notice that belief system is an external that lies in your history because you showed up on planet Earth I mean, think about it, Karen. What if you were born in, the Bronx, or you were born Italian, French, maybe? You think you'd be this version of you? Not a fucking chance. You'd be the version of your culture, like I always say. Muslim, Christian, la-di-da-di-da-da-da-da. 20 years later, they meet. Who's right or wrong? Neither. They're both their own fucking truth. Because they only see what they're born with. That's only a cultural idea. But it takes a mature human to realize those belief systems of identity don't create you. They're dependencies. They're drug-addicted comas that you have to find your worth in the externalization. To become someone you already are, I am. But that's a very humbling work. Because people rely on imagery. They rely on being a mother and being a father. They're going to be a mother and a father anyway. They're going to be a good employee anyway. It is to be the singular truth. The projection happens anyway. But those are for others to define, not you. So when you see another in peril and you see humanity, you got to look at yourself and go, wow, look at me. I'm seeing creation that way. Because it ain't that way. Because the truth lies in the eye of the beholder. Holy fucking shit. That means I choose my reality. Right?
Yeah.
One man's trash is another man's treasure. We are all our own subjective singularity universes. That's what Bashar was talking about. That's what Abraham was talking about. The fucking greats, Cryon, the greats, Jane, all of them. You create your own universe. You're the only one there. And it doesn't mean it's empty, like I'm the only consciousness and everything else is just this plastic that I create. No. You're the only truth about the reality you're creating. It's your truth. It's your experience. As soon as you say yes to it, and 99% of our yeses aren't even conscious. We just coveted them. We coveted them because I was born with this kind of family. That's it. That's all. So when you see your projections, you got to look at yourself and then be humble enough and go, wow, I'm seeing those people in peril. I'm seeing those people in pain. Therefore, I'm experiencing fear. And now that I have this, now I can experience hope. Why do I need to experience anything? Why can't I be, wow, look at this fucking awesome moment, and let's just be what it is instead of trying to label it and tuck it neatly in my memory so I can have something to talk about.
Yeah, I've got so many conflictions going on in my.
Of course.
Now
we got to upset you.
I'm the type of person that I love seeing people happy and successful, and I want to help.
But it's not your job.
And for me.
Wait a minute, Karen. Let me say this. Have you ever tried to make somebody happy and they didn't accept it, and then you said these words? All I was trying to do was make them happy. Don't be a fucking hero.
Yeah. But this is the thing.
You can't think what other people think.
Am I trying to do that because the culture, if you like, that's around me, I'm thinking to myself, in order to be a good person, I need to do a certain thing, or is that my truth anyway?
It's your truth. It is your truth anyway, but there's not a staple. Look, guys, pay attention. 5 laws. Where does it say your truth has to be this? Who assigned that to you, Karen? Right. All truths are truth. That's what Bashar said. Whatever you are. But when you're climbing the ladder of ascension, let the fuck go of a rung. Oh, you just want to be a hero. That's your image. I'm going to make people happy. I'm here to serve as human. How do you know what the fuck my happy is? You're a goddamn fucking bug on my ass because you're trying to make me something. Fuck you. I'm enough. Get it?
Yeah.
So grow the fuck up and take care of the kingdom. Do you not know that the master is away from the house? The master is you. That's all written in the Bible. God damn it, guys, read your Seth. It's all there. But no, you're just looking for the bills to be paid. You're looking for what you can chew on and have a thing. Have you looked at your life? Do you notice you keep cycling these things? Or do you want to realize these belief systems with a journey of humility, acceptance, and say, wow, look how I create my reality, and start to command it instead of demanding? Enlightenment is an eternal journey. That's been said. You look at your reality, wow, that's my shit. Got to take that down. That's my shit. Got to take that down. I'm seeing that in pain. They're not in pain. They're their own universe. I'm seeing them in pain. They're screaming. They're hollering. They're suffering. They're soliciting me for that pain. If I accept that truth, I create my reality. Get off your fucking high horse that you're something. You're another run-of-the-mill god. That's it. Don't make yourself special because you're not.
I love that.
You're an invincible, priceless creator, but you're trying to image yourself as some fucking hero.
Run-of-the-mill god. One thing Roxy does, and I'm still learning. Humble pie. She eats your ego. You go boom. Oh, fudge.
I'll devour that motherfucker because I know what it is. Because I was it. I lived it. I evolved it.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Yeah.
So I can I offer that to people through my work, but I don't like, hey, you know what? That's your ego. It's only done in the moment. Like right now, kid.
Yeah.
Ta-da! You think you
I
were
love
here
that
by
big
mistake?
Ta-da!
Wow, look at that. Let's see how this plays out. Here you are.
I mean, it's awesome, isn't it? It's just Karen. I keep saying awesome. Awesome. That's all I can say.
It is awesome. It's fucking
It is
awesome.
awesome. You know, you're just a run-of-the-mill god. You're no one special. That's it.
Right.
Run-of-the-mill god.
When you're awesome, don't be in awe of the reality. Don't be in awe of synchronicities. Accept your awesomeness. Our entire history right now that we know it, we're under the guise of other gods. Before the idea of, we had gods and the Norse gods. We had a lot of gods, right? Because we didn't know we were gods. And that's how it gave us the idea of God, is the concept of God is to have gods. Otherwise, we never realized we're gods, right? So that's just part of the evolution. But all the gods were above us. So every time a human gets born, we're still vibrating and then we're less than. So you got to earn your way back to your godship through some heroic act of helping people or doing whatever. And that's just the experience class. That's all it fucking is. But you're not less than. I realized that. The people were telling me this and that, and then we're less than, that we have to give it up to some higher God. You're going to ask me to buy that story, and you're going to sit here and reason with me? I mean, look at your reality. You're the one who are in pain. You're the one who's contorting yourself. I mean, look at what they do to themselves. They explain reality through suffering. Reality isn't suffering. We don't have to suffer. Yeah. We choose to suffer because we don't know there's not suffering. We're introduced to suffering. Our teachers tell us that we're wrong. Our teachers grade us to tell them that we're not enough. We still do that today. We still measure people. And why do you think they got to be on Instagram? Because they have no way to understand themselves as worthy, as I am, because it's not represented. But that's part of the change. It's not right or wrong. It's not up to us to fix humanity because they're not broken. They're experiencing. You got to take the internal journey, enlighten the kingdom, and represent that. So what I've said here today is fucking awesome. And a couple of you will grab a piece of nugget and change your reality, change your vibration, and you'll start to that internal journey a little bit more and a little bit more. After a couple thousand years, the species evolves and goes off to the next idea of the fourth density. Yay us. Yay. But I'm not a human. I'm a creator experiencing a human reality. A co-created cycle of evolution. Find the worth. And be it.
Thank you. We've gone well into overtime. Roxy, thank you so much for getting up so early in the morning.
It's been awesome.
We're gonna have debates. Awesome. We're gonna have debates in the Zoom rooms going on for a while, like we did last time.
Let them have
debates.
That's
what it's about.
Work it out, man. Figure it out. But
conversation.
yourself. Always look at the kingdom. Look at yourself. You have an observer in objectification. Everybody can see themselves. Use that point of view.
It's already coming up in the chat. It's like, oh fudge, oh fudge, oh, it's already going in the chat already. I knew it would. Yes, thank you. You're awesome, Roxy. I'm going to end the conversation because you know what I'm like. I can go on forever. It's time to go. It's time to go, Roxy. Roxy, it's time to go. We've gone into overtime. Thank you so much. And if anyone wants to connect with Roxy, we'll put her links up after when Chris does the thank you post. But Roxanne Swainhart, just Google it. I mean, just Google it. Just go onto YouTube. I watch all her. You do this monthly. You've changed your programs now, so you do it once a month. Is that correct?
Once a month is allowed, but I do pop-ups during the month when I get. Oh man, let me talk about this.
Yeah,
and then I just put
that's it. Yeah, and then I always go searching, and they come up, and I'm like, and then after I've watched it, I go, God, that's it. I needed to hear that. So if you want to catch up with Roxy or learn some more, you know who to follow. I'm going to say now. Oh my God, I've got a fly in here. I'm like mind washed when Roxy speaks. I can't talk like duh.
Because
duh.
The way you are, Gloria.
It's the way I am.
Because normally you're so all, and I can tell when you're pretty speechless.
When Roxy, I'm in that energy, and I'm going, oh fuck, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh, and then I realised a bit. I'm just eating humble pie sitting here, just one after the other. Anyway, guys, here we go.
Humble pie for breakfast. Today.
Yeah, that's so simple. Why didn't I think of that? But it's an ongoing, and I'm cool. I'm awesome. I know I'm awesome. Right. So where was I? What am I doing now? Totally thrown.
You're saying goodbye.
Guys. Yeah, say goodbye. I'm saying goodbye. Okay, before I say goodbye, everybody, next week we have the ET Whisperer, Rob Gothia, who's coming on to share his journey into channeling. And we have a couple of more shows left for the end of season 1. And season 2 will start up, I'll repeat again, is it September? It's August the 29th. Season 2 with Cheryl Costa, Yossi Rowan, Eric Mitchell, and Chris Matteo, just to start. So we've got a lot going. I'm going to go now because I'm like gone. And I'll see you all next Sunday with Rob Gothia at the ET channel. Thank you guys for watching. Keep liking us and sharing our posts. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye, all.
Oh, gosh. Oh.